So let me ask you this, how do you feel after you lose a trade? How do you feel after losing consecutive trades? How do you feel after backtesting all weekend, achieving an 83% win rate and a 27% gain over a 30-day period, and then coming into the live markets on Monday only to encounter that nothing you tested is currently working for you? Well, if you're anything like me, it feels like shit. When I started trading, I found myself constantly feeling deflated, feeling regretful, feelings that I'm constantly letting myself down, nothing I'm doing is working, and really doubting if this is something I would truly ever be able to achieve. Now, 13 years later, I'm here. So today, I'm going to share with you an extremely powerful shift in perspective that you can start applying not only to your trading, but in every aspect of your life that will immediately eradicate feelings of doubt, fear, and regret, and 10x your discipline, work ethic, and motivation to absolutely conquer anything and everything you face moving forward after this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you're already following me, turn on notifications. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button. So most of us as traders find ourselves caught up in the cycle of mixed emotions. If we win a trade, we feel ecstatic, accomplished, and fulfilled that we're getting that much closer to our dreams. When we lose, most traders find themselves doubting, questioning their strategy, and even questioning their own abilities as to whether it is even possible to become a consistent and profitable trader. If we're to sum up both these scenarios, we call these behaviors results driven, but not the positive definition of results driven, the here and now. And the mindset of these types of traders who are more focused on their immediate results are effective positively or negatively because of these results. They have their attention on the end result of their current trade being a winner or a loser. Now, the problem with this kind of approach to trading is that you take away from the fact that trading requires a huge degree of patience, discipline, and time invested to get the outcome that you want. So when your perspective is focused on the immediate results, whether it be one trade, 1 week, or 1 month, you're technically setting yourself up for failure. And when we think about this kind of attitude or behavior displayed to this approach to trading, we can conclude that the majority of traders don't like hard work. It's the facts, and you only need to look at the numbers. And to put this into perspective, let me ask you this. Has your trading journey been easy? Now, let's just say for a minute that the traders above who we've mentioned do work hard. What are they working hard for? Well, clearly to achieve some kind of end goal. However, they are executing daily and even multiple times a day to achieve an immediate end goal, and more often than not, to end the day in positive. Now, notice I said to achieve an end goal. If a trader ends the day in negative, they have not achieved their desired end goal, right? And if they find themselves up 6% on a challenge in, let's say, 2 weeks of starting it, they're not satisfied because they have not yet achieved their desired end goal. Or if they're building a small account and currently up 33% in 3 weeks, but they set out to make 100% on that account, or simply put, double the account, they are not satisfied yet because they have not yet achieved their desired end goal. Now, this is extremely damaging to traders and will be the reason why 90 to 95% of traders will never become consistent and profitable traders. Technically, ending your day in red, but avoiding doing dumb shit and blowing up your account is a true reflection of your character and something you should feel proud of. Being up 6% on a challenge in 2 weeks is a huge feat. 33% profit in 3 weeks on any account is a huge accomplishment. Now, we know most traders can win trades, and in fact, most traders can trade profitably for short periods of time. When they do, there is clearly a short burst of dopamine that is released, and that trader feels happy. The effect that a trader has or experiences after winning a trade is 9 out of 10 times the reason why they continue trading and or come back to trading if they have taken a break. But they are only trading for the immediate results still in these scenarios. So the so-called hard work that they're putting in is only because they are seeking that reward at the end of it, making it much harder for them to achieve the consistency they need for the long haul, which is a necessity if you want to become consistently profitable over time. This is what we call intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is when you're motivated by your internal desires to do something for its own sake. For example, your personal enjoyment of an activity or your desire to learn a skill because you're eager to learn, like reading a book because you enjoy storytelling, or exercising because you want to relieve stress, or cleaning your home because it helps you feel organized. Whereas extrinsic motivation is motivated by an external factor pushing you to do something in hope of earning a reward or avoiding a less than positive outcome. Examples of this is reading a book to prepare for a test, or exercising to lose weight, or cleaning your home to prepare for visitors coming over. Now, most traders find themselves stuck in extrinsic state of trading all their life, taking trades to pass a challenge, interfering with their trades to avoid a loss, changing strategies to find the holy grail, increasing their risk to get back their losses, moving their stop loss to avoid being stopped out, and closing their trades early to avoid the trade turning back on them. So because these types of traders are seeking the reward to avoid the worst case scenario, they are creating an imaginary starting point or basis of comparison for something, meaning that when they win, that is what they expect every single time they trade, because they are seeking the reward or dopamine effect, and they tend to measure their results based on their past performance of doing well and not the long-term performance that is required to make a ton of money in this business. This creates extremely unhappy traders because they are no longer trading for the reasons they came into trading, which could be to start their own business and learn and grow on this journey, or to make enough money from trading to match the salary that they're earning at work to be able to quit and trade full time, or to be able to free up their time to spend time with their mum and their dad and their husbands, wife and children, or to be able to pay off their debts, let's say, and many more things. They are now trading for the reward or the dopamine kick. The problem with this is dopamine controls our perception of time. So when you're trading, if you find yourself in a so-called winning trade and it does everything you want it to, and it hits that TP, you're more often than not going to be able to walk away and say, you know, I was patient today, I was disciplined, I followed my rules, I didn't touch my trade, I let it run. And you're going to positively reward yourself with praise because of the outcome. Now, if shit hits the fan and our trade doesn't go well, it's the total opposite. Now, what we're doing here is extending the time by which we feel satisfied or validated that we're doing the right thing, as opposed to just accepting it as, you know, part of our trading journey, you know, and these results are normal, because we are now creating a disassociation for the dopamine and the reward that usually comes at the end. And for most of you, this would have normally been activated during the very start of your trading journey. You know, when you knew less than you know now, when you actually enjoyed the process of trading and focused less on getting positive results. And that is why most of you had positive results when you started out versus now. So as time goes on and you have become more aware of what you're doing, what works and what doesn't work, and experiences of forcing it to work and digging yourself out of the hole when things are going bad, your experience as a trader is constantly focused on the end results and getting pleasure at the end when things are going perfectly well. Over time, you have the experience of less and less pleasure from the process or trading whilst doing, resulting in most traders losing focus on the bigger picture. And this is the total opposite of what is required to become a consistent and profitable trader over time. So what is the opposite of this, and how do we change this around immediately? Well, it is simply called growth mindset. Shifting your perspective to not the reward or outcome, but rather constantly striving to be better and be in the mindset of I'm not there yet, but striving itself is the end goal, not the immediate reward. This means shifting your perspective to your own personal growth and not that of you being a reflection of your trading results, but rather your trading results being a reflection of you. And how you cultivate the growth mindset is by learning to access the rewards from effort and doing. Is this easy? Hell no. Hence why we have the statistics we do in the world that we live in. You know, only 1% of people in this whole entire world are successful. 1% is mind-blowing and sad at the same time. I also believe that in the next 5 to 10 years, with the amount of traders entering into this industry, the stats will be the same. Only 1% of traders will be successful. So if you're constantly focusing on the end result and constantly doing just for the reward, you will find that your productivity level and motivation to continue doing will dramatically decrease, and the process itself will become more of a burden to you than enjoyment. This will make it extremely hard to deal with the immediate results of your trading. You will constantly doubt your abilities, question whether you're doing the right thing or not, and fear for the rest of your life that nothing you do and or are doing is going to work. What you need to be focusing your attention on is forcing yourself to enjoy the actual process of trading more than worrying about the end result, and completely disconnecting your thoughts and desires about what the end result will be by ending your trading day or trading session after you executed your trade. This means not watching it, micromanaging it, messing with your targets or TP whilst in the trade, but completely removing yourself from the picture after you've completed the process of patiently waiting for the trade to develop, execute, and be done. This will slowly start to force yourself into a state of resistance with having to walk away, as it won't be easy. But what will start to happen is that you will induce that dopamine release from the friction and challenge that you happen to be in, slowly but surely over time, shifting your focus to be 100% on the process and not the reward at the end. And I'm sure you've all experienced this in life, you know, when you just can't wait for something to be over and you start to get that itchy feeling, you know, that feeling of discomfort, the feeling of, oh my God, you know, I just can't wait for this to finish. I can't wait for this to come. And then time just becomes unbearable. And then all of a sudden, you know, the situation you was facing was over, or what you was waiting for to arrives, and then there is this massive release of tension, you know, that feeling of relief. Well, that's a dopamine effect marking time. So instead of bearing the frictional challenge like holding your trade or grinding for 20 days straight and following your plan, or sticking to your rules for the next 20 to 50 trades, you are constantly in a state of, I cannot wait for this to be over because I just need it to end and get the results. What you're doing here is marking time and not enjoying the process, making your trading journey not enjoyable. So you become less efficient and productive because you're unable to release dopamine during the process, which is responsible for allowing you to feel pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation. What you need to be doing is stop attaching all these other factors that you think will contribute to a positive outcome every single time, but rather start to attach the feelings of effort and discomfort to an internally generated reward system, which is a system that exists in your mind, which is focusing only on the things that are pleasurable, like winning a trade, passing your challenge, ending the week in profit, but rather constantly telling yourself consciously that the process of losing your trades is the good part. Being in profit and seeing it turn against you is the good part. Missing your TP only to see price turn against you and stop you out break even is the good part. And I know it's painful, I know this doesn't feel good, but I am focused on this. This way you will start to access the rewards and find the rewards not in the end result, but in the process. Meaning the dopamine release will now start to come from the effort you're putting in and not constantly wanting to do things perfectly just to get the perfect results every single time. If you do this every single day consciously, it won't be easy, but you will start to realize what it truly means to enjoy the process. And that is why so many multimillionaires and billionaires like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg are continuing to work even though they don't need to. But if you only focus on the reward at the end, what will continue to happen is that you will undermine that entire process. And you will not achieve anything substantial in life if you do not enjoy the pain and friction that you must endure in order to become a successful and consistent profitable trader. And that is why I always say, continue to trust the process.